Hello and a very warm welcome to Nationwide. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Thanks for joining us. We'll begin in Rivers State, and with democratic governance restored to Rivers State following the end of the 6-month state of emergency, expectations are high as residents look forward to political harmony and completion of ongoing projects that will meet the needs of the people. Gabrielle Amunike, who spoke with some of them, brings us details.
Emergency rule was imposed in Rivers State in March this year, following a political standoff between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the State House of Assembly. Now that the state of emergency has been lifted, residents say they are happy to see the governor return and welcome the development with optimism. Others are, however, cautious, noting that the political situation is still fragile.
We are very, very happy. Automatically, we never expect him back. But since as a Christian, I've accepted that peace, we also work with him.
We have really missed him though. Oh, thank God he's back.
It's good as our governor is back to do other things and make sure other money that concern us, even the civil servants, let him settle them and make everything peaceful.
We are appealing that it is time to reset the affairs of Rivers State. We should forgive one another in the interest of Rivers State.
Government is continuity. It's not about who did and who did that. Go and renovate the health centers, go and renovate the school to give our people basic health care, give this good education in the state. Those are the basic things the government will forgot. And complete ongoing project in the state.
Some residents also commended President Tinubu for the proactive step in checking the political crisis. In Port Harcourt, Gabrielle Amunike, NTN News.
And joining me live now from Port Harcourt is Robinson Derate to give us an update on happenings in the ancient city. Hello, Robinson. Governor Siminalayi Fubara is set to resume or due to resume today. What information are you getting on this, and tell us about the mood in the state capital?
The mood in the state capital, Port Harcourt, has always been the way we announced it in the morning. This government house was full of crowd of people from different communities and local governments who all mobilized to welcome the governor. They have all dispatched now because the governor was not coming today, although there are indications that the governor may arrive the state today, but whether it will resume office tomorrow is what we don't know. Everybody seems to be happy that democratic governance has returned to Rivers State. We were also at the markets in the early hour of today, and the market women all were happy that democratic governance has returned, because the emergency rule had a serious and severe effect on even businesses around the city. Democratic governance has returned. The assembly members also have shown a strong indication that they are now ready to work with the governor. So there will be cordial relationship between the executive and the legislature. But what is most important that people are saying is the sustenance of the peace that has been brokered by the presidency, especially concerning the aides of both parties, that they should talk less on public so that they will not cause more problem, so that the peace that has been brokered will be sustained. For now, Rivers people are eagerly waiting for the arrival of their governor. Whether he resumes tomorrow or next week, they said they will continue to mobilize to the government house celebrating until he arrives.
All right, Robinson, just a little more on the resumption of the State House of Assembly. Can you give us an idea of deliberations, and what would you say has been or is their state of mind on this first day?
Please, I can't hear you clearly. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, State House of Assembly also resumed, from our understanding. Just give us an idea of their state of mind and the deliberations as they progressed.
The state of mind of Rivers people is that now that the governor will resume, majorly it will take serious most of the projects that have been suspended, mostly the Trans-Calabari Road and the Port Harcourt Ring Road. These are projects that are dear to the people's mind, and also the welfare of civil servants. Civil servants seems to be one of the most excited set of people when the president announced the reinstatement of the governor. So everybody is happy, and they are all preparing for the resumption of the governor.
All right, Robinson, many thanks for giving us that update, and we're certainly good news to hear that the general feeling is one of elation that democratic governance is returning to River State. Thank you, Robinson.
Thank you.
Well, the recent local government elections in River State have continued to receive commendations from different groups and election observers for their fairness, despite the circumstances and tight time frame under which the elections were conducted. The latest is coming from a coalition of civil society groups led by the Center for Credible Leadership and Citizens Awareness while briefing newsmen in Abuja. The observations of the 830-member report from over 4,000 polling units in the 23 local government areas showed early arrival of electoral materials and early commencement of voting activities.
The observers deployed to the field were able to report to our situation room observations online and real time. We observed that the campaigns by the dominant political parties, that is the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and the All Progressive Congress, the APC, were purely issue-based campaigns. We observed a complete absence of pre-election related violence, tension, or fear. The logistical preparations were flawless. The distribution of sensitive and non-sensitive materials, even to difficult riverine terrain, was well managed and it was timely.
They further applauded the River State Independent Electoral Commission and law enforcement agencies for their synergy and commitment to ensuring violence-free and transparent local government elections in River State. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, FCT, has intensified efforts to ensure eligible voters are not left behind ahead of the area council elections. INEC officials took to the streets of Abuja for a sensitization walk, urging residents across the 6 area councils to take advantage of the continuous voter registration exercise before the deadline. Rabiat Shaib brings us details.
Different wards across the FCT, including all 6 area councils, are opening their doors for in-person voter registration and biometrics capturing. While online registration ended on the 15th of September, physical registration at INEC's continuous voter registration centers will run from September 29 to October 8 between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. INEC officials marched through major spots in Abuja, sensitizing residents on the importance of participating in the process.
I think since we started from the online registration to the in-person registration, the turnout has been heavy, even here at the Area 10 office. By the time we move to the RA level on the 29th, I think more people should be able to come out and participate.
The Commission is urging FCT residents to use this window to collect their permanent voter cards, replace lost or damaged ones, and to register as first-time voters. Officials say youth participation and first-time voter turnout have already seen a significant increase, a development they hope will translate into greater civic engagement.
The civil exercise is still ongoing, So we have uncollected cards at our centers. Right now, at the 7 registration centers in the FCT, there are cards there for people to collect, for those who have not collected their cards. And we would also want people to know that after the CVR exercise, the Commission will run a deduplication process to deduplicate the data, and then everybody that passes through the process, that's everybody who genuinely registered and have not registered before, would have their PVC.
With area council elections approaching, INEC insists that active participation now through registration and card collection remains the surest way for residents to have their voices heard at the polls. In Abuja, Rabiat Shaib, NTA News.
To other news now, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, wants secretaries to state governments across Nigeria to embrace technological tools, deepen collaboration, and proactively support security coordination to meet the demands of modern governance. This was during the 2025 second quarter meeting of the forum in Jos. Ijoma Zimina reports.
The SGF emphasized the strategic importance of the secretary's roles in governance, describing them as the engine room of all government operations. He noted that their functions span policy coordination, cabinet affairs, interministerial relations, and maintaining institutional memories. The meeting is the second of its kind since the inception of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, and the first for this year, with the theme understanding the dynamics in the roles and functions of secretaries to the government of states.
We need to remind us that our job requires absolute discretion, diligence, loyalty, and a deep understanding of the political and administrative landscape, as well as understanding the skills of managing cracks in the areas of conflict in the landscape.
This forum meets from time to time in order to rub minds together, to be able to share notes together and see how they can improve the machinery of government.
In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
More groups on the platform of the governing All Progressives Congress have continued to rally support for the policies and programs of President Bola Tinubu beyond 2027. The latest is the unveiling of the BAT Ideological Group Handbook, where the conversation was sustained around the success of the administration in various sectors of the economy by the Tinubu Support Group.
Who has given us a bragging right in person of Asiwaju. There is in our ideological group, there is what we call Renew Hope Policy and Project File, where we have, gathered together all the achievements of this administration. So all we just need, we can't even sensitize people, we just 10 of it before we achieve our aim. So just go out there. In law, there is what they call res ipsa loquitur, that facts speak for itself.
The good thing is that anybody who is in the political arena at this particular point in time, we know his history, we know his antecedents.
The group said it is encouraged by the performance of the President's tax reforms, NEL Fund, and other milestones under the Renewed Hope agenda of the administration. Now, retirement may end a career, but it should not end opportunities. Credit Corps and Leadway Assurance are rewriting the story, opening doors of credit for Nigeria's pensioners. Details with Musa Abubakar.
For too long, life after retirement has been shadowed by one question: how do I keep going when the paychecks stop? Today, a new chapter begins. Credit Corps and Leadway Assurance have joined hands in a groundbreaking pact, a memorandum of understanding that opens the doors of credit to pensioners.
Structuring better products for them, making it much cheaper for them, and supporting them even in their quote-unquote rest state is what we are doing through this program.
For Leadway Assurance, we are ensuring that we will, as much as possible, also publicize this so that we can onboard as many annuitants as possible on this scheme.
It's more than numbers. It's hope for the retirees supporting a dream beyond retirement.
My prayer that it will be done in a way that Anutans will be very happy with it and everyone will feel the impact of the government at this level.
Life doesn't slow down at retirement. It takes a new shape. With Credit Corps and Leadway Assurance, pensioners gain the credit to live, thrive, and dream again. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
All right, let's take a break now. Affected by the tragic fire outbreak at Afriland Towers on Broad Street, which claimed 9 lives. In her condolence message, the First Lady also extends special commiserations to the FIRS and UBA over the incidents, praying God to comfort their loved ones. Now, the ecological problem is one of the environmental challenges confronting many areas in Delta State, caused by the depletion of natural elements. This time, erosion has hit and crippled some areas in the Ila community, Oshimili North Delta State, unleashing a devastating blow to the economic and social structures of the people. Chinyere Okoli visited the sites and now reports.
The erosion has had a devastating impact on the communities of Umumbe, Umuntei, and Ajaji in Ela, Oshimili North of Delta State, causing widespread damage to homes, farmlands, and infrastructure. Farmers like Chukuma Ofili and Ngozi Obinipo have been hit by the menace, with their farmlands damaged by erosion, forcing premature harvesting and resulting in significant losses, pain, and distress.
This place is my farm, but because of the erosion of something here, that's why I started to uproot my cassava, because when I leave it, it will fall inside the erosion is doing there. That's why I'm uprooting my cassava.
My farm has been carried away by the flood, and I cannot more feed my children because of the devastation.
Very, very, very much in this place. If it is left here, in a few years to come, there will be no person living here.
I don't support anybody to come over here and farm because of the danger we are envisaging here. So we have told most of the people farming here to give away from here.
It's so bad that if it continues like this, we don't know how it will be in the next 6 years.
The situation is precarious and immediate action is crucial to prevent further devastation and support the affected communities. In Ela, I'm Chinyere Okoli, NTA News.
And we're now being joined live by Ngozi Mokwede in Asaba for more updates on this development. Hello, Ngozi. That report was not too encouraging from Chinyere. What more can you tell us about this erosion problem?
Dennis, good afternoon. The community is seriously suffering from erosion, and I have one of the elders here in the community is going to tell us more about the challenges they are facing and what they really want from the government. Elder Anthony, please come. Please focus on the camera. You're talking to Nigerians. Please tell us what is really the challenges that you've been facing here.
Thank you very much. I am Anthony Mabude Ndoka. We've been facing this problem for a long time now, and it's so bad that down there from here now going down, the erosion there is more than serious. That we want the challenge is so much that we don't really know what to do. It's not something that one person can do. We are begging the federal government, the state government, and every other person that this will touch, because our children to come. We need where we will farm, where we will get things to eat. At least when somebody retire and that's in township, you come back home, you farm, and you still feed. Without food, nobody can live. So we believe that this famine and erosion problem here is more than serious. We need help.
Okay, so what do you now want the government to do, or what have you done so far?
At the beginning, we are trying to channel it, but this is more than what we can be able to do. We pray that the government will now come in to help us channel the erosion to somewhere else where it will not be damaging where we farm and where we get our daily bread. Without food, nobody can live, and this is why it's so important for us. The house is there. We cannot build near the erosion side. Enough of land is just wasting for nothing.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my dear.
You've heard from one of the community elders. They are appealing to the state and the federal government to see how they can nip this erosion in the bud. Because when you go further than this, you will come to realize that the community gradually is being, if proper care is not being taken, it might go extinct, which we don't pray for. So we just hope and pray that the government, both the state government and the federal government, will come to the aid of this community, because as it stands now, they can't go to the farm close to that environment. They can't even build in that environment. Dennis, that's all from now.
Ngozi, many thanks for that update. Let's now cross over to our Kaduna Network Center and join my colleague, Mohammed Umar Jingi. Hello, Jingi, it's over to you.
Dennis, thank you for joining us here in Kaduna. Traditional institutions remain crucial to strengthening national security, and this was the position of the Olu of Warri Ogami Atuase III while addressing participants of the ongoing Senior Course 47 codename Haskebu at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College Jaji here in Kaduna State. The monarch emphasized the relevance of traditional leadership in tackling the complex security challenges in the country. Shrad Abdullahi reports.
The course, codenamed Haskebu, continues to draw resource persons from across the country, mobilizing ideas and strategies aimed at tackling insecurity and fostering national cohesion, identifying traditional institutions as a catalyst in addressing Nigeria's security challenges. The Olu of Warri Ogami Atuase III emphasized the enduring relevance of traditional rulers in promoting peace, gathering grassroots intelligence, and supporting national security operations. He described traditional leaders as the first point of contact in many communities whose deep-rooted influence can be harnessed to resolve conflict and promote long-term stability.
When a ruler embodies integrity, discipline, and vision, the people not only take note, they follow. These leaders are not just figureheads. They are the custodians of values, the keepers of heritage, and the arbiters of moral order.
The Olu of Warri's remarks come at a time of renewed call for stronger collaboration between security agencies and community-based institutions. The session is part of ongoing engagements designed to broaden the strategic perspectives of participants drawn from military, paramilitary, and civilian institutions. From Kaduna, Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
From security matters are now to agriculture, where the governor of Jigawa State, Umar Namadi, has signed a memorandum of cooperation with Context Seeds Private Limited of India, a move expected to significantly improve crop yield and uplift the livelihood of farmers across the state. Muhammad Musa Askar reports that the initiative is part of the transformation the state is pursuing in the agricultural sector to fully mechanized.
This partnership follows an agricultural investment tour of Jigawa delegation to India earlier in May this year, where discussions with Contech identified priority areas for collaboration. Under the new framework, Contech will supply hybrid varieties of maize, rice, wheat and vegetable seeds. The company will also conduct multi-location trials across Jigawa and work with local researchers to develop seeds suited to the state's climate. In addition, farmers and extension workers will benefit from intensive training programs, while Contech will also provide post-harvest management support. The agreement further opens the door for the company's entry into the wider Nigeria agricultural market through its partners in Nigeria. The memorandum of cooperation was signed by Mr. Yanganti for Contech Seeds and Dr. Saifullahi Umar, Director General of the Jigawa Agricultural Transformation Agency, on behalf of the state government. The 3-year renewable partnership aligns with Governor Umar Namadi's 12-point agenda for agricultural transformation and sustainable development.
This cooperation will certainly be improved. Not only improved, but it will be grown. And it will be grown to the extent that, like you said, Jigawa State will be the seed hub of Nigeria.
Now with the arrival of the information technology, arrival of the communication technology, it doesn't take that much time now. It takes only, we felt that it takes to double the agricultural produce in Jigawa State, it takes maximum 2 to 3 years, sir.
With this landmark deal, stakeholders say Jigawa State is set to position itself as a leading hub of modern agriculture in Nigeria, ensuring better yields for farmers and greater food security for the nation. Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And that's our contributions from this nationwide continues in Abuja with Dennis, but after this commercial break, don't go away.
Thanks for rejoining us here in Abuja. Let's talk agriculture now to further strengthen coordination for rapid developments in the livestock industry. The Ministry of Livestock Development has unveiled a 5-year National Livestock Master Plan designed to unlock the vast potential in the sector. Yusuf Jika reports that the plan has been developed by the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Supports in collaboration with Bill and Melinda Gates and International Livestock Research Institute in Kenya.
Nigeria's livestock industry accounts for approximately 17% of agricultural GDP and 5% of the national gross domestic product, impacting on millions of Nigerians through employment, food security, and rural development. And to fast-track efforts in modernizing the industry and addressing challenges of low productivity, disease, inadequate infrastructure, and limited access to market, the unveiling of this 5-year master plan came handy. Its objective is to guide the development of the sustainable livestock sector and attract targeted investments from the government, development partners, and the private sector, prioritizing key value chains and policy interventions.
The goalpost. This is the way to go. And today we have launched the master plan, and we will now put it in the public domain so that, like I said, everybody, every stakeholder in the livestock sector will know their own piece of action that we want to come and play with us in the way of implementing this.
This is a comprehensive document that will be socialized across our states through the National Economic Council, I believe. Then the document will be of benefit to the private sector, especially the private sector, the roles of the private sector, role of government, and the role of the livestock farmers.
While the plan moves to accelerate development in the industry, it considers gender inclusion, women and youth empowerment, equity, and environmental sustainability. In Abuja, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Netherlands says it will strengthen its bilateral relationship with Nigeria and supports the country in its food security initiatives. Dutch ambassador to Nigeria, Bengt van Loosdrecht, says his country is currently supporting Nigeria in vegetable production value chain. Musa Baba Ali reports.
In 2021, Nigeria and the Netherlands reached an agreement with the Dutch government supporting Nigeria to address post-harvest losses in vegetable farming. The 5-year project focuses on increasing farmers' incomes, promoting sustainable farming, enhancing greenhouse technologies, and fostering stronger market linkages for 60,000 smallholder farmers.
Farmers were getting very low yield. We worked on that. Now farmers are able to get over 20 metric tons per hectare of tomato. Before, based on our baseline, it was between 7 and 10. Another major challenge was that we address is the post-harvest losses. We all know, especially tomato, it can be as high as 50–60% of loss.
We have established over 100 business-to-business partnership across all the 4 states, which we believe that is going to continue even after outside Nigeria.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security commended the Dutch government for its support and appealed for a second phase of the project to cover additional states. Beneficiaries of the project, especially the youth, are in high spirit, believing that their contributions will enhance national food production. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Let's now join Charles Abba in our Makadi Network Center. Charles, it's over to you.
you could join us in Makurdi. The Benue State government has resolved to synergize with the National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC, to enhance maintenance of PMS, CNG, tricycles and motorcycles in the country. This was disclosed by the Deputy Governor, Sam Ode, at a specialized training workshop organized by relevant partners in driving the initiative. The workshop drew participants from the 23 local government areas of the state. The federal government has continued to make concerted efforts to ensure growth and development in the automotive industry to ease transportation and improve the economy. The workshop, organized by the National Automotive Design and Development Council in conjunction with Simba Group Nigeria, is aimed at building and strengthening the mechanisms of NADDC auto technicians to actualize this initiative. Participants who love the effort describe it as apt.
Let me first of all appreciate the President of our country, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the good initiative. The program will promote our members in Benue State.
Director General NADDC, represented by Dr. Noah Omisanya, Director of Industrial Infrastructure, explains that the program is designed to equip auto technicians in maintenance and repair skills.
We've been doing this from state to state using our automotive training center. It is the turn of Benue State, that is why we are here.
Deputy Governor of Benue State, Sam Ode, indicates that the state government will key into the program and step it down across the 23 local government areas of the state.
The 500 we want to train is just the pilot stage of the training. After that 500, we'll continue to train them, just like we are doing with ICT.
Outcome of the workshop underscores the importance of government support in driving the automotive sector's growth. Charles Abba, NTA News. And a report pertaining to the fourth estate of the realm says Benue State government has pledged its commitment towards partnering with government-owned media houses in the state for optimal performance. Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Teso Kula, reaffirmed this when he paid a courtesy visit on NTA Network Center Makurdi. Blessing Omeche Ebute reports.
Government-owned media houses have over time played vital roles in promoting good governance as they provide accurate information about government programs and policies. It is in this light that the Chief Press Secretary to the Benue State Governor, Teso Kula, led other media aides of the governor and the
All right, apologies for the sudden halt at our Makurdi Network Center. Let's crack on with the news and we'll talk security. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, is attending the 12th Beijing Xianshan Forum, where he is expected to engage with his counterparts from other countries, explore avenues for defense cooperation, and share Nigeria's perspective on regional and international security. With the theme, upholding international order and promoting peaceful development, Nigeria's participation underlines its commitment to multilateral engagements on defense and security issues. The forum is jointly hosted by the China Association for Military Science and the China Institute for International Strategic Studies. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force, through the air components of Operation Hadinkai, has intensified its air operations in the northeast, terminating several terrorists and destroying their structures in Borno State. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ehimene Jodame, indicates that the precision strikes were carried out after intelligence and surveillance confirmed unusual movements of about 45 terrorists, some arriving on motorcycles and bicycles from different directions to join the assembly, with 2 terrorist flags seen hoisted at the location at Bula Madibale in the Gazua general area. Elsewhere, the Office of the National Security Advisor has organized a crisis simulation response exercise involving 28 agencies. What is the essence of the exercise and its implication for real-time incidents? Well, our defense correspondent Ismail Musa has answers.
Terror attacks with victims taken hostage. The overall objective of the exercise is to enhance effective communication and shared responsibility to facilitate rapid response to emergencies and save lives and property. Natural disasters and other emerging threats spreading beyond borders as well as clicks on the buttons. These are realities of global security threats knocking. To stay ahead of these challenges, the Office of the National Security Advisor replicates scenarios of real crisis to test coordination, synergy, combat strategies, and real-time decision-making.
The essence of having exercises like this is to refresh, particularly those who are concerned in managing crisis or in responders when it comes to crisis, to refresh them again on their responsibility. We want to check their capacity, their response capacity, their competence. And if you do this periodically, it will help every one of us to ensure that when crises come, we are able to respond adequately.
NEMA stressed the importance of regular simulation exercise.
It's more or less a coordination forum, not just a simulation exercise, but for the relevant agencies present here to be able to take charge and know what roles every single person is supposed to play. Don't forget that after this particular exercise, you're also going to go back and review where you find your lapses, and you come back and sit and agree, when this strikes, what do we do, how do we move on, and that's the whole purpose of the simulation exercise.
Experts insist that only when lessons from exercises like this are applied, effectiveness might be an illusion. 28 agencies participated in the simulation exercise. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Away from security matters, the newly established North Central Development Commission with its headquarters in Lafia has taken off in full swing following the donation of an office complex to the commission by the Nasarawa state government. Aliu Tijani reports.
Strategically located in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, is the new office complex of North Central Development Commission, NCDC. Nasarawa State, as host of the commission, donates the edifice as part of its contributions for the smooth take-off of the commission. Governor Abdullahi Sule hands over the office complex to board and management of the commission and tasks them to deliver on mandates of establishing the commission.
My idea is to ensure that you meet with the governors, you meet with the members of the National Assembly, and let them, in order for us not to have any rivalry that will divert you or actually confuse you, to tell you clearly this is what we want as a team. Not different. Then you can go back and draw your blueprint.
At its inaugural meeting, the board and management of the commission approved the setting up of 13 committees that will midwife commencement of operational activities in the commission.
The committee will bring out their reports in specific terms with strategies on how we can address this.
Also, the Commission's 2025 budget and planned retreat in October this year, as well as proposal to adopt Regional Development Master Plan, were discussed. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has convened a stakeholders engagement to sensitize industry players on auto-compressed natural gas license requirements and procedures. Lydia Sampson reports that this is to fast-track compressed natural gas infrastructure development in line with President Bola Tinubu's initiative on CNG.
Across the country, Nigerians are embracing CNG as an alternative fuel, evident in the growing number of motorists converting their vehicles and the long queues at CNG stations. Demand has now outspaced supply. This stakeholder engagement was designed to demystify licensing processes, ensure seamless implementation, and strengthen regulatory compliance to attract more investment across the CNG value chain.
Is to bridge the gap between the authority, that's the regulator, and the applicant as it concerns the operations of CNG.
Coming here, we have realized that there's a lot to do and we can be able to do a lot of these things ourselves. And then I must thank the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for introducing this issue of CNG.
This has created a very good atmosphere of collaboration, of cooperation, of knowledge sharing, and a feedback loop that is very important for the regulators, for PCNGI, for all stakeholders indeed, to understand what are the common concerns, the lowest common multiples, the highest common denominators.
Speakers highlighted CNG's benefit from reducing fuel costs to cutting environmental pollution. Participants expressed readiness to work more closely with regulators to drive CNG uptake, aligning with Nigeria's energy diversification and cleaner fuel ambitions. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Civil Society Budget Implementation Assessment, Monitoring and Evaluation Committee is calling for urgent and sustainable action for the establishment of a humanitarian relief, recovery and reintegration fund. This is in support of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons and the National Emergency Management Agency to address growing needs of internally displaced persons, returnees, asylum seekers and refugees across the country. The group stated this during a media briefing in Abuja, where they raised concerns on the need for education, psychosocial support, economic empowerment and pathways to rebuilding and reintegrating them into society. While commending the efforts of both agencies, the group says despite limited resources, these agencies have coordinated interventions, emergency responses and facilitated integration and reintegration programs for displaced persons.
This fund is necessary for several reasons. One, swift and effective response. Emergencies do not wait for budgetary approvals. With a standing fund, relief can be deployed immediately to affected communities without bureaucratic delays. We hereby call on the National Assembly to immediately begin the legislative process to establish this fund. This should not be a temporary or ad hoc initiative, but a permanent national mechanism.
The group further added that the prospective humanitarian relief fund is not just for charity, but a call for justice and a lifeline for millions of Nigerians. Let's now get some sports stories.
Nigeria is making a bold statement on the global sporting stage as it officially bids to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games, with Abuja's Moshood Abiola National Stadium at the heart of the proposal. The Commonwealth Games inspection team has already begun evaluating the country's facilities and infrastructure. There is a strong sense of determination surrounding the bid. The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, serving as media partners, has joined forces with the bid team to showcase Nigerians' readiness.
You will be convinced that Nigeria is really committed and is able, more than able, and have the capabilities and the possibilities to host what I will term the best games ever in the Commonwealth.
Meanwhile, at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Nigerian's Udo Onwuzurike flew the national flag as the country's sole representative in the men's 200 meters. Despite a solid effort, Onwuzurike finished 7th in his semi-final heat, clocking a time of 20.26 seconds. The event saw a dazzling performance from Noah Lyles, the reigning world champion, who powered to a world-leading time of 19.51 seconds. Zanel Hughes of Great Britain came in second at 19.95 seconds, while Sina Saifo Dambili of South Africa recorded a personal best of 19.98 seconds to claim third place. Back in Europe, the UEFA Champions League continues to deliver thrilling moments. The excitement isn't over. Tonight promises more high-stakes action as Newcastle United welcome Barcelona to St. James Park, and Manchester City look to build on their recent derby triumph as they face off against Napoli. Copenhagen take on Bayer Leverkusen, and Club Brugge battle Monaco in what should be a tightly contested clash. For Sports Update, Bright Ebochu, NTA News.